30,000 pesos. And I've heard this a lot. There's a lot of confusion. Is it per deposit or per depositor?
Ano ba sabi ng banking professor? But anyway.
Well, but what we had heard, but you're better off confirming it with the Banco Central or your neighborhood bank, is that it's per deposit and not depositor.
Per deposit.
And another question from home. Should governments intervene more in how private companies manage their investment portfolios from jewels through tax?
Well, not really intervene directly into how these private individuals would be managing their portfolios, but actually having the necessary regulatory framework to ensure that fraud and that fraud would be averted and transparency is maintained, to ensure that the public would be very much well aware of what is taking place in the stock market.
In other words, part of the confusion and panic came from, at a certain point, even the professionals didn't know what was quite going on anymore. So this brings me to my point, which is not about the numbers, but more about the political side of it. Now, recently, the Philippine Daily Inquirer, in its editorial, pointed out that the global panic over the U.S. economy and stock market had inspired some people to begin crowing that the free market was dead, capitalism had finally fallen to its knees, and that liberal democracy, so intertwined with capitalism and the open market, was finally being exposed as a sham. Now, the editorial pointed out that the celebration among today's soulmates of the Hitlers, Mussolinis, and Stalins of yesterday was premature. Now, in his column, my colleague John Neri said something similar. The particular genius of capitalism as a system is that it eventually corrects itself. The same thing could be said of democracy, under which capitalism thrives best. But whatever ism you subscribe to, one great and enduring lesson from the Great Depression is that no force, whether the market or system, whether communism, fascism, or democracy, should be allowed to prevail to the extent that individuals and their problems and aspirations feel abandoned and alienated. Panic may seize whole populations or sectors or people, but at the heart of group terror is individual terror, a personal fear born of personal desperation. It is fighting that fear and never surrendering to it that leaders and followers need to do then and now. For it is fear that drives people to embrace extremism as a form of self-preservation. So thanks to Attorney Jemmy Gatdula and Rafi Madarang and Yuxin Chuang, thank you for being with us, and I hope you'll be back. And our students from Arellano Law School who are getting extra credit for their questions from their professor. I'm Manolo Quezon, and this is The Explainer. You can find out more details on our blog.